When I was 13 years old, I ran for president of student council in my junior high school. And this was in Illinois, and Senator Kennedy was campaigning in the Wisconsin primaries. So I wrote a letter to him. Dear Senator Kennedy, I really admire the way you're running your campaign in Wisconsin. And I'm running for president of my student council. And I wonder if you'd give me some advice. About 2 weeks later, I got a letter. And the return address was the office of Senator Jack Kennedy. And it was postmarked Washington, D.C. It was quite a long letter on U.S. Senate stationery. Dear Laurie, I'm very glad to know you're participating in your student government. And then there was a list of suggestions about how to run a campaign with lots of bullet points. And one of the bullet points was, spend time with your fellow students and find out what they want and promise it. In other words, don't just make your own plan and try to convince people it's a good idea. Be a real representative, not an ideologue. Anyway, there were lots of other things, and it was signed, sincerely, Jack Kennedy. Now, about a month later, I wrote to him again, and I said, Dear Senator Kennedy, I want to thank you for your advice, and I'm sorry I didn't write back sooner, but I've been very busy. I've won my election, and best wishes in your own campaign. Sincerely, Laurie Anderson. But anyway, the next thing that happened was kind of amazing. Soon after I'd sent the letter, a special delivery truck arrived at our house. We lived out by a lake. And there'd never been a special delivery there before, so it was really kind of an event. I ran to answer the door, and a man in a uniform handed me a telegram and a long white package. And the telegram said, Congratulations on your election, sincerely, Jack Kennedy. And inside the box, there were 12 red roses. And of course, this was front page news in our local paper, the Glen Ellen News. Local girl receives roses from Senator Kennedy. And every woman in town fell in love with Jack. Then last May, we played at the Kennedy Center as part of the celebration of Jack's 99th birthday. In a concert, after the concert, they gave us a small book with quotes from Kennedy. Books that happened to be the same size and shape as Chairman Mao's little red book of quotes. And Kennedy's book was full of writing about art and poetry and how they are the engine of the country. And how they are the things that give meaning to our lives. And when I read this again after the last debate a few days ago, I realized just how far from this we've come. And now, after all this time, here we are, still living in a world of stories. And now that the elections are going on in the U.S., it's once again the season of stories. Each candidate has a story about how the world is and how the world used to be, and how the world will be in the future. You just vote for the person whose stories you like the best. this long road, this dirty train, this map, this bridge, this camp, these boatloads of people, this dirty train. And yes, I can see the future. And it's a place about 70 miles east of here, where it's lighter. Linger on over here. Good time. I'd like to introduce my guest, Rubin Kodheli. And I want to say that this evening we are improvising and we'll be playing more or less whatever comes to mind. And so you are the only people who will ever hear this. Just so you know.